I agreed to read my sister's sealed medical file after her death, but one page had my name circled in red. My sister Mara died on a Tuesday, which felt cruelly ordinary. No storm, no warning sirens, just a phone call that left my body standing while my mind ran somewhere far away. A week later, after the funeral flowers browned and the casseroles stopped coming, a thick envelope appeared in my mailbox. No return address. Just my name, printed in clean, clinical lettering. Inside was a single key taped to a card. St. Vera Medical, Records, Locker 12. Mara had worked there for years. She used to joke that hospitals were just buildings where secrets learned to whisper. I told myself the key was some forgotten thing, some bureaucratic mistake that chose the worst possible moment to surface. But my hands didn't believe that. My hands drove me across town. Records was in the basement, behind a glass window, and a receptionist who didn't make eye contact. I slid the key across the counter and told her my sister's name. She didn't ask for a death certificate. She didn't ask for identification. She looked relieved. Locker 12, she said quickly. Take what's inside and please don't open anything here. That should have been enough to turn me around. Instead, I found the locker at the end of a narrow hallway that smelled like disinfectant and damp paper. The key turned with a tired little click, like it was used often. Inside, a file box. Heavy, labeled with Mara's full name and a long string of numbers. A red sticker sat in the corner, the kind you see on evidence bags. Sealed. I carried it to my car like it might start talking. At home, I set it on the kitchen table and stared until the sun went down. Then I cut the seal. The top layer was harmless. Intake forms, routine lab results, printouts of appointments. Things that made sense for a person with migraines and insomnia. The kind of problems Mara always minimized with a shrug and a forced smile. Then I reached a divider tab marked Consults, Restricted. My throat tightened. The pages under it weren't hospital standard. The formatting changed, the language shifted. It was written like someone trying to sound medical while hiding something underneath. I flipped through quickly, scanning for dates. A note caught my eye. Patient exhibits heightened suggestibility. Family involvement recommended. Subject responds to familiar voice patterns. Subject. Not patient. Subject. My pulse hammered in my ears as I turned the next page. And froze. A photocopy of my driver's license. Old, from 3 years ago. I hadn't given Mara a copy of it. No one had. My name was circled in red ink so aggressively the pen had torn the paper fibers. Next to it, in block letters, primary access point. Do not inform. I read it twice. Then a third time, because my brain kept trying to soften the words into something survivable. My phone buzzed on the table. A text message from an unknown number. You opened it. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might be sick. I stared at the message until another arrived. Mara tried to close the door. You were never supposed to find the key. I stood up too fast, chair scraping the tile. My apartment suddenly felt too open, too full of corners that could hold listening. I typed back with shaking thumbs. Who is this? 3 dots appeared immediately. Then, turned to the last page. The one she hid behind the consent forms. My breath came shallow as I flipped through the file again, fingers catching on paper edges. At the very back, tucked under a signed release, was a single sheet with no letterhead. Just a sentence, typed neatly, like a confession. If you are reading this, they're already using you. And beneath it, Mara's handwriting, unmistakable even after death. Don't trust what you remember about me.